and welcome. My name is Lois Ancestral, and today's stream is Soul Soothing Wisdom for Loneliness. So I'm creating a safe container for anyone who feels lonely to come and be held, to receive my presence, wisdom and creations, and just see where the flow takes us. To just be together, connect in this virtual, energetic space. So I'm going to begin by reading us a story that I wrote with ChatGPT. It's called The River of Stars. In a realm shimmering with infinite possibility, there exists a subtle river known as the River of Stars. It is a river like no other, for it does not flow with water, but with energy, soft, glowing threads carrying the secrets and dreams of every soul to ever grace the universe. The river has no beginning and no end. It just simply is. It winds its way through the fabric of existence as the fabric of existence, the unfolding of life and its quiet, elusive witness. Its currents are calm and steady, flowing with ease and effortlessness. To those who encounter it, the River of Stars is not only a sight, but an experience. A loving embrace and sense of unity with all that is. A small, luminous being named Aurelia finds her way to the riverbed. She has been searching for something that continues to elude and frustrate her. The girl's heart is heavy with questions, and though she shines so brightly, she often doubts her own power. As she gazes into the glowing waters, the river begins to softly hum. A melody that resonates deep within her being. "Why are you here, little one?" it asks, its voice as tender as starlight. "I don't know," Aurelia admits. "I think I've come to understand. There are parts of me that feel separate, and parts I don't know how to hold. I want to see how it all fits together." The river sparkles, its currents swirling in playful patterns. "Then let me show you," it says. "Close your eyes and allow yourself to drift." Aurelia hesitates and feels the warm excitement of the river's invitation. She closes her eyes, and in this moment, she is carried by a gentle, dynamic flow. The waves embrace and contain her. As they whisper forgotten wisdom and sacred truths. The river begins to show her a familiar story. Memories are now floating by, moments of joy, laughter, passion, and deep connection. But alongside them, flurry moments of pain, fear, sadness, and loneliness. Aurelia wants to hold on to the joyful memories and push the painful ones away. As the river whispers, they all belong. Let all of them be here. As she allows each memory to pass, Aurelia begins to see how every moment, both light and shadow, weaves together to create the entire tapestry of her life. The joys offer hope to the sorrows, and the sorrows create meaning for the joys. She sees how even the parts of herself that try to hide are vital pieces of the totality. You are not separate from this river of stars, it said softly. You are part of everything you see, just as it is part of you. The magic you see flowing here is the same magic that flows within you. The pain you feel here is the same pain that crafts the deepest resilience within you. Aurelia opens her eyes, and for the first time, she recognizes the river, not just as a glowing stream of energy, but as a reflection of herself. Each glowing thread is a piece of her own being, woven into the greater flow of existence. Do you see now? The river asks. Aurelia nods, her heart full of wonder and her dear mind full of doubt. But what about the parts of me that still feel heavy? The parts that struggle? The river's light glows brighter as if smiling. They need your love most of all. As Aurelia drifts in the river's embrace, she senses a warmth rise within her, a love so deep and unconditional, it brings tears to her eyes. It is a love that includes and reaches everything, without exception. When she finally steps back onto the riverbank, the currents continue to hum softly, their character reflecting as her own. You are like me, little one, the river said, a river of stars, carrying the stories of the entire universe within you. Everything you are is part of the whole, just as it is part of you. You belong exactly as you are. Aurelia smiles, her power clearer and more radiant than ever. She lays down beside the river, its melody wrapping around her like a lullaby. As the stars sing and dance above, she drifts into a blissful, dream-filled sleep. Hello and welcome to this space. My name is Lois Ancestral. This is Soul Soothing Wisdom for Loneliness. That which I just read is a story that I wrote with ChatGPT. If you would like to read this full story again whenever you want to, it's available free on my Patreon. You can find that link on my Twitch profile. So it's great to be here with you. I felt like creating a space which is like a medicine for anyone who is feeling lonely tonight and just wants to hang out and be in my energy, sharing presence, wisdom, creations, flowing. And of course the chat is open and available if you would like to connect. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen as always, but I have around me some things like tarot cards, books, so let's see where the energy wants to go. My hands have decided on this deck. So I have the Moonchild Tarot. And as I'm shuffling the deck right now, I'm shuffling the book as part of the deck, so that's fun. Oh, it's super exciting as well. I have a new mic, finally. Effortless, amazing audio. So, what is it? Spirit, soul, universe that we are needing to see. I pulled out the Five of Cups with the woman alone inside a room, so that is very appropriate. It looks to me like she could go outside and see what is out there, but something internal is making her feel like she can't see this door. So she feels closed in and trapped and isolated, and she doesn't see the door behind her. So how can we help her to find the door? Where's my cards? Okay. So we could help her to find the door by encouraging her softly to go inside and connect with herself, and or we meet her from the outside and come together and hold each other in the space. Because loneliness is not only something internal or external, it has to do with the distance between our internal parts as well as the distance that we feel between ourselves and others. So the feeling of loneliness itself is not something that is resolved only by going to be with people. It has to do with a specific kind of connection that we need, which is authentic, which is that all parts of us need that authentic connection. So, what else wisdom do the cards have? How are we supporting our Five of Cups? So as she goes within and explores her internal world and takes care of the parts of her that feel lonely, she is also receiving more ideas about how she might find people on the outside who can love her in the way that she needs. She's receiving new ideas as to where she might go to meet people who want to get to know and love all parts of her. Because when we come together as people, the more parts of us we are allowed to be and express, and the more that is received unconditionally by others, the less lonely we feel, the more connected to each other we realize we are. And the more connected all parts of us and each other and all parts of each other, the more connected we realize that we are, the less possible it actually is for us to hurt ourselves and each other, because everything is a part of everything else. So it's actually not possible for me to hurt you without hurting me, and vice versa. So what causes people to be able to hurt each other is, hi, welcome, is not having an awareness that we are one, that we are the same. Because if I am aware that I am the same as you, that we are one, there is no way that I can hurt you without hurting me. So I'm reading tarot cards at the moment, and we have this 5 of Cups lady who is feeling lonely inside. We can see behind her that she has a door that she could go out into the world and find people, but she doesn't see it, or she doesn't believe that she will find the people she needs, or something like this. So we are pulling more cards to help her find her way back to connection. So we've talked about how she can spend time inside, taking care of the wounds that she has and the different parts of her that need her connection, and how also it's not just about loving herself, it's like simultaneously needing to find spaces outside that are able to love her in the way that she needs and deserves to be loved, and how they both support each other to come more into a state of connection. So how else can we support ourselves and each other to find a state of connection, while also recognizing that if you do feel lonely, of course it's okay to feel lonely. I know it's a painful feeling and it's not very nice to feel. At the same time, as if you do feel lonely, the last thing I want to do is tell you not to feel it, or tell you that it's not okay to feel that way, because that in and of itself is what exacerbates loneliness. Like, it needs to be okay to feel how we feel, and that's the place from which we have any power at all. Because our own unconditionality and our unconditionality with each other, that is like, it's okay exactly as you are. This is a catalyst for things to change naturally. But if I approach an emotion and I'm like, I'm sitting with you so that you change, it's the same as sitting with a crying child and saying, I'm here with you, can you shut up now? So it is okay to feel lonely, and at the same time, what supportive wisdom can we channel for this loneliness to help meet its needs for connection? Because loneliness is not something where, because you're alone, you should just deal with that alone and you should be able to be okay alone. Loneliness is quite simple. It's a need for connection. It is a need for connection between different parts of ourselves, and it's also a need for connection with each other. So, how might the people of this stream connect with each other? Okay, so loneliness is something that so many of us feel, and in my experience, it's something that is not talked about enough. And so that's why I created this space, to make it okay to feel lonely and to make it so that you don't have to feel lonely alone. And also that's something that is shared, or the experience of connection might be a medicine supportive for you. So I invite you, if it feels good for you, to take a few deep breaths. Let's allow ourselves to feel however it is that we feel, and to arrive in the body, to notice what sensations are happening inside the body, outside the body, in the room. Is your mind active? Are your feelings still, or are they moving? Do you have any tension in your body? For me, I find stretching really important to connect with my body and see in which ways the tension wants to be supported to release. And it's okay to be exactly who you are. The way that we were conditioned, and that we condition each other socially, has caused so many of us to have a subconscious belief that it's not okay to be who we are. So my mission has to do with stepping forward authentically and proposing that it is okay to be exactly who we are, and to be included as a part of the whole, and to consider each other and how all of it is complementary. Because really, what more important things can we be doing than figuring out how to connect everyone and everything in a more real, healthy, sustainable way? So that's why I incarnated. That's my mission. That's the direction that I lead us in. The first life that a leader leads is their own. And actually, in the moments where there is no one in the stream, I actually find it quite nice, because I'm like, no one is watching, I can be myself. And then someone comes in and I'm like, oh, interesting how someone being in here reacts with how we interact, how we affect each other. So I'm practicing, authenticity with and without people being here. It's okay if I perform and if there's tension, because that's what's authentic to me in this moment. We are practicing authenticity. We're practicing relationship. We're practicing connection. We're practicing creativity. Like, life is both a ceremony and a practice. So, to stay on the theme of loneliness, wagwan in the cards about it. So, there is a lot of pain that comes from periods of isolation, at the same time as a lot of potential for growth That doesn't mean it's an end goal, end point. It means that it's a necessary phase of some people's journey. At the same time, as if you feel inside like you want to find your way back to connection, you can choose to begin that movement. So the Chariot, she is riding solo. However, she's on the move. She's opening to possibility. She is healing. She is exploring. Maybe she is putting herself in more and more situations where she has the potential to meet people that she wants to connect with and who can love each other in the way that we all deserve. Like different parts of her are waking up that may have been dormant, and they are reconciling the distance between them, which is a part of the antidote for loneliness, as well as coming together on the outside in spaces of conscious connection, and also practicing an attitude of connection with strangers, like noticing when I am in a mood of pushing against the world and understanding there's a valid reason for why I do that, and at the same time inviting me to relax. Hello, welcome to our soothing soul wisdom. I forgot what I called it. It's like soul soothing wisdom for loneliness. There we go. So at the moment I am reading some cards. How are you doing? How are you feeling? If it feels right to you, I invite you to say hi in the chat. It's up to you. I'm available to connect. I'm also available to do my thing. So let's see what happens. So I'm just going to lose that train of thought that I was on before that because I forgot, and it's fine. So we have the Emperor energy. So how does that support us with loneliness? So at the same time as healing the wounds inside that cause us to perceive ourselves to be alone, and then taking inspired action to visit new places where we might find people who are more similar to us and who make us feel more safe than previous relationships. Another thing that can be supportive, or that can happen through isolation, is an understanding of your own purpose, or even a new creative endeavor or a new journey. Or if you've been in a time of isolation and then you're gradually moving back towards connecting with the world, like who have you become in that time alone, and who is it that you want to show up as, if you do? Or maybe you are still in a period where you either perceive yourself to be alone or you want to be alone, or something like this. There are different ways and reasons why people can find themselves isolated. So whatever the reason is, I wanted to create a space where if you don't want to be alone while you feel that way, then we can be together and feel lonely together. That's quite a trippy thing. My hands are just going for it with the cards by themselves while I'm talking. So I have some matcha. It's my favourite. Thank you for being here with me. So, the Star. The way that I see it, Earth at the moment is in a big transition phase where the old structure of society that we built is clear to many people that it's not functioning in a way that's conducive to human health and to the health of everything else, at the same time as we've not necessarily built a replacement yet. So it's kind of this transition phase. And what I can see happening is there are little pockets in the world opening up of like new ways of being together, trying community things, events, different ways of exchanging energy. And what I am seeing happening is like the emerging of lots of leaders, lots of people who are leading a different life themselves, because probably in their life experience they felt like the only one who was not okay with how things are and needed something else, but it doesn't necessarily exist yet. So what else is there to do but create it? And that can be quite an isolating life path. If that is something that you choose, that is what I chose. At the same time as I am beginning to realize that I'm not the only one. This is a perception that I had. Like I felt like I was the only one, and that is something that loneliness does. It tells us that we are the only one. But I've come to realize that so many people feel lonely. It's just not talked about very much. It's the end of the matcha. Sad. Different people, dipping in and out, beautiful, sharing the medicine of connection. Welcome and farewell. And sometimes when people go in and out or something like this and I'm saying hi or taking a break drinking, I forget the last thing I was talking about, so I'm just gonna let it be that way. The flow be flowing. The flow be flowing, the divine wisdom flow be flowing. If you are in pain in this moment, feeling lonely and hopeless or desperate about needing connection and belonging but not being able to create it, it's okay to feel that way. I understand, and your pain is my pain. And I want to share that in my experience, by going inside and taking care of the parts of me that feel lonely or have become disconnected from each other, this has been a vital part of the medicine of my healing. At the same time, I've been searching for situations, scenarios where I could find the kinds of people who make me feel like it's okay to be me and things like this. Like people who can love who I really am, not people who need me to perform how I used to in the past. At the same time as I am creating a online space where I welcome people to be their authentic self and connect as a whole, authentic unity, and to create events. This is what I am going to be doing very soon. So I will make those known on my Linktree when we have events in person, because there is some part of the healing process that's necessary to do alone. If you become fragmented and you are alone, then where you start from is alone. However, it's not necessary to do the whole thing alone. As soon as you can manage to find your way to in-person situations that feel compatible with you, I invite you to do so. And that is why I am creating them, because we are a tribal species, a communal species, and it's clear to me that we need the in-person spaces of authentic connection, as well as all the resources we have online and the inner work Like, there is no replacement for community for human beings. And also there are other people who create events too, on things like Meetup, Eventbrite, Teal Swans events, different retreats that different people do, like whatever calls to you. Those kind of events could be supportive and an opportunity to connect with something that many people don't even know is missing, that community, that belonging. At the same time as I invite you to trust yourself and your own inner wisdom, and to voice your boundaries if you have them coming up in situations ever. So, what else could we share in this beautiful stream to support us with loneliness? There are some things that the energy just feels like it needs, and so I'm just going to say them. It's okay to feel exactly as you feel. It's okay to be as you are. And you deserve to belong. And we all deserve to be considered by each other and to collaborate in ways that feel like a win-win for everyone, and that that's possible, and that I'm sorry that we haven't always played that game. I'm sorry that we played games where some parts of us have to win and some parts have to lose, where some people win and some people lose, unless of course it's a consensual game like a competition. This is different, but I mean just in life, when it's like my way or the highway. I'm sorry that we played games that cause some people to lose. So hello and welcome. How are you? How are you feeling? If you want, we can connect in the chat, and if not, that's also okay. I'm just reading some cards about loneliness, because this is a soul-soothing wisdom for loneliness stream. So, we have Temperance. Yeah, periods of loneliness can feel like being patient and then waiting and waiting again, and it can be painful, that period of isolation, not knowing when it's going to end and things like this. So I just want to take a moment to recognize that. I'm also hearing that there is a certain amount of being alone that can be necessary for some people's journeys, and it's okay to go through that. At the same time, as if you are feeling like it is not what you want anymore, it is okay to begin to aim towards creating situations of belonging for yourself. So I'm feeling that perhaps if someone is stuck in isolation, they might not know that that's possible, or they might not know how to do it. Because in my experience, loneliness can make it feel like you are stuck inside four walls and that nobody else exists in the world, or that nobody exists who can understand or see you or love you in the way that you deserve, so it feels better to be alone. Or why ever you are alone, it could be different for each person. But I know that loneliness says, like, I'm the only one. And I can tell you from experience, it's valid and it's not true. Because if you feel lonely and I feel lonely, could it be true? No, I'm not the only one. It feels that way though, and that's valid. Is that it's okay to feel lonely together. And if you can't find your way to people, places, and things that make you feel that sense of togetherness. I understand that sucks and that's a scary situation, because we need that as people. We need community, we need belonging. So in my life, a resource that helped me when I was in that state is a book by someone called Teal Swan. I don't know if you know who she is, but it's called The Anatomy of Loneliness. So you can get it as a physical book. You can also get it as an audio book. And this was really good at explaining how to love the internal parts of us, and how helping these parts to find their way back to each other helps us to create connection on the outside, because this time-space reality, this life experience, is a mirror. So if I have a lot of distance between the parts of me inside and feel lonely, I'm also likely to create situations on the outside that cause me to feel lonely. So I can tackle this from the inside as well as from the outside, by putting myself in situations where I could meet people who are more compatible with me than the ones that I was with in the past, or than people who I feel lonely with. Because in my experience, being around others and feeling lonely has to do with people who I'm not feeling comfortable to be authentic around. If I am being authentic around other people, I feel less lonely. Because what's causing the sensation of loneliness is having to hide parts of myself from others. Hasta la vista. So, I keep getting urges to sing, and then I remember this setting on the microphone, the denoiser, specifically says not a setting that works very well with singing, because obviously singing produces a lot of air, and the denoiser like blocks the air. So yeah, we're not singing in this stream for that reason. However, I have thought about doing a singing stream soon, so that might be on the cards. So, let's explore this book. It is the inner game of music. However, we can apply it to any game. So what comes to me to say is every game that we play in life, or everything we do, is an inner game and an outer game. Because for example, if I'm trying to achieve something and all I do are the action steps but nothing internal, then I'm not going to be completely in alignment while I'm taking action necessarily. At the same time as if all I do is internal stuff and I never play the outer game, I'm not going to move, am I? So then we can look at how to play the inner game. Use awareness techniques to refocus attention. When I first realized that I could switch my attention to anything, I chose as easily as I switched channels on my TV. I was frankly amazed. We often feel as if an interruption demands our attention, as if there's nothing we can do about distractions but be distracted. But we can choose not to stay on that wavelength. If a physician's pager bleeper goes off in the softest passage of a Beethoven piano concert, it's not as if the bleeper is likely to keep on bleeping for the next two movements, but the spell that the pianist has been weaving in the audience is likely to be broken. What does John Browning do about it if he's playing the concerto with the New York Philharmonic? He has phenomenal concentration and he's entirely swept up in the music. He continues to play without hesitation. The audience senses his focus, the distraction is quickly forgotten, and the music continues. Exercise. Inviting distractions. I like to suggest an exercise that can help you to achieve this kind of concentration when you're performing by shortening the recovery time after a momentary interruption. It's helpful to cultivate the attitude that momentary interruptions are normal and to be expected. This allows you to be confident in your ability to continue playing after a sudden interruption or after a momentary slip on your own part. Ask a friend to work with you as your distractor. Supply your friend with the distractors toolkit, an alarm clock, a radio, and a hairdryer. Now ask your friend to sit behind you and mimic a conversation while you try to concentrate on something. Have them set the alarm switch on the radio and use the hairdryer from time to time. Don't worry if you're distracted. That's part of the purpose of the exercise. Your job is simply to be aware of how long it takes you to recover from an interruption and refocus on the music. Repeat the exercise and notice the changes in your recovery time. When I first introduced this exercise to my students, it seemed to be a unique and somewhat radical technique. I have since learned from the Suzuki piano teacher that she often plays distraction with her young students. Once you are used to dealing with disruptions and distractions and have come to expect and even welcome them, much of their power to disturb you vanishes. This exercise can help you to shorten your recovery time. That's pretty interesting. So in order to practice becoming better at focusing, intentionally distract yourself or get someone to distract you. If you wanted to practice that alone, you could put like a really distracting video on in the background and then get someone, then do something. I might try that, because in a way, when people come in and out of the stream, I'm feeling the sensation that I would if I'm being distracted. And so sometimes there is something that's happening in the stream where I am like, do I continue talking or do I say hi to the person who just came in? So I'm of course going to say hi to you in this moment. Welcome to this stream. So this stream is for anyone who feels lonely, and also we are hanging out and seeing how things flow. I have been talking about loneliness itself a lot, and if you are feeling lonely, it's okay to feel that way, and you don't have to feel that way alone. And also, if I feel called to explore the things that I have around me, like the books and the cards, then I am doing so. So in this moment, I feel like playing with this little book of manifesting. I like to use this book almost like a deck of tarot cards and see which one comes out. So, okay. Rediscover the anima mundi, or in my case, discover it for the first time. So, manifesting rests on the idea that the universe is animate, alive, and we exist in communion with it. This knowledge was held true by the ancients, who understood that the world has a soul known as the anima mundi. How are you feeling? How are you doing? If you want, you can say hi in the chat, and if you don't, that's fine. I'm available to connect, and I'm also available to share whatever I'm feeling like doing in my flow. So, cool. Where was I up to? Plato wrote over 2,400 years ago, "The cosmos is a single living creature which contains all living creatures within it." Use this concept to reimagine reality so we are living within a soulful world and can act in harmony with it to both give and receive. 3 ways to connect with the soul of the world. Recognize life in the world wherever you walk. The weeds that grow through the cracks in the pavement that's teeming with insects. The urban tree that's home to thousands of leaves. Express gratitude to the ground for carrying your feet. It is firm and holds you steady as you move around its surface. Look into the heart of a flower to see its minute filaments and recognize its beauty. Or something I feel like saying is that if you feel shit and you are like having a walk or just in your life and you do like these kind of exercises, noticing the life that is around, no, you don't have to force yourself to feel good. So like if I'm feeling shit and someone says be grateful, I'm like, so it can be awesome to just be like, yeah, I can see that there are a lot of leaves on that tree, which shows me that some kind of life is here, even though I feel alone, and that's okay. So becoming more in tune with the soul of the world will help the practice of manifesting rather than shouting into the universe's silent abyss. Speaking from your soul to the soul of the world will be a far more intimate experience. Nothing is stronger than thought, for it travels over the universe, and nothing is stronger than necessity, because all must submit to it. Wow, that's another quote from the next page that has no title. It's just boom, exit stage, mic drop. I'm gonna read it again. It was quite boom. Nothing is stronger than thought, for it travels over the universe, and nothing is stronger than necessity, because all must submit to it. Interesting. Interessante. Oh, okay, I'm gonna take a breather, mini meditation. Feel free to join me in breathing. I wish that I could share the music that I'm listening to through the stream, but because I'm streaming on my phone, I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But if you want to play some ambient music for yourself, then that would be the same as what I would like to play for you right now. So either way, listen to whatever sounds are in the room, if that's your breath or traffic outside the window. Breathe naturally at the pace that feels right to you. Notice your mind thinking. Oh, are we doing ASMR now? Thinking. And become aware of how you feel. Physically, in your body, and emotionally. Now, it is okay to feel however you feel. If we can bring our awareness to our presence, I find that being as my presence, as well as whatever is happening inside of me, helps me to feel more calm. And if I couldn't connect to my own presence, I might visualize water or some light or something like this, because those vibrations are quite similar to the vibration of presence. Actually, you could even use the energy of the lights behind me, because in a way that feels very similar to the vibration of presence. Or you could feel my presence. I know that it's virtual, but I'm here with you, and we are together energetically. I'm also here with me and all of the parts of me that might need my attention. It feels good to put my awareness in my heart. And that some words that the energy needs is simply being is enough if that's all that is happening. Like I am allowed, you are allowed, we are allowed to just exist. And that movement is natural, not something that we must do in order to deserve love. It's a natural byproduct of who we are. Thank you for being here together tonight, vibing, chilling, feeling however you feel. It's okay. Receiving the medicine of soul soothing wisdom, soul soothing space. I've given it about 7,000 different titles while I've been trying to remember what the actual title is. It doesn't matter. It's the energy. And allowing loneliness to be held. So, practicing the power of now. I've not read this book for a long time. It's like one of the old classics. So, what have you got to say, Eckhart Tolle? Beauty arises in the stillness of your presence. Presence is needed to become aware of the beauty, the majesty, the sacredness of nature. Have you ever gazed up into the infinity of space on a clear night, awestruck by the absolute stillness and inconceivable vastness of it? Have you ever listened? Truly listened? Think about this, really think about it. I have never seen an old person eat a Twix. Have you? Yes, my granddad. Kit Kats and Twix. Actually, yes. So, have you ever listened? Truly listened to the sound of a mountain stream in the forest? I did in the Swiss Alps, and I drank from the stream of the mountain, and it was the best water I've ever drank in my life. Or to the song of a blackbird at dusk on a quiet summer evening. To become aware of such things, the mind is invited to slow down and rest. The invitation is to zoom out a little bit and observe the thinking that is happening all day long, not needing to do anything to make it go away or to make it stop or even slow down if it's not slowing down. It's like we can just observe it like it's a TV channel, because it's easy to get caught up in being the thoughts, like what I'm thinking feels like who I am. However, observing it gives us a little bit of space, a little bit of access to peace, a little bit of possibility to question a thought if that thought is not serving you, if that thought is causing you pain. I might zoom out and look at my thoughts. Wait, this thought is valid, and is it necessarily absolutely true? Or could it be something that I believe. Have I ever explored this with my thoughts? Have I ever questioned them? Have I ever played with challenging them if they cause me to suffer? No need to reject them. Pranaya. Is this about meditation? So this stream is soul soothing space for loneliness. So it's whatever the space needs, really. So I've been talking about loneliness, I've been pulling cards, I've been sharing spiritual wisdom. At the same time, as if anyone wants to use the chat to connect, we can do that too. It's like an intuitive space that's mindful of loneliness, at the same time as allowing the flow to go where it needs to go, just basically to offer a healing energy. So what I was doing then was I read some from The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and then I started to feel like channeling myself. And so I was talking a little about meditation. Yes. So if people say things in the chat, I will respond. Otherwise, I will do what I feel called to do. How are you feeling? How's everyone feeling? Oh, something else important is that something I wanted to create is a space where if people are feeling lonely, they don't have to feel lonely alone. Or in your case, pranaya, if it's stress, then it is okay to feel that way and you don't have to be alone while you feel that way. And hopefully the soothing energy of the space helps to interact with your nervous system. If you feel called to, I invite you to breathe with me. Like perhaps we can use that pranaya is feeling stress right now to recognize that in the energy of the group, we all have the feeling of stress within us in some way. I know that I do. There is like a low level stress in my nervous system, like all the time. So let's take some breaths. It's okay to feel exactly as you feel. And gently invite the body to relax. It can be supportive to trigger your senses, because stress can cause all of the awareness to go into the mind or into tension in the body. It can be supportive to trigger your senses in different parts of the body to help to ground yourself. Because with stress, we're not trying to change the emotion, but inviting grounding and presence to add to the experience to support you to process the emotion. It is okay to feel anxious, worried, scared, overwhelmed, all of these feelings that are associated with stress, whichever way it's manifesting in you. Thank you for the vulnerability to share how you feel in the chat also. It's brave. How I'm feeling is a mixture. It's like peaceful and also a little nervous. I'm streaming, it makes sense. And then there is that like stress in my nervous system at the same time as there is like a calm flowing energy that is also coming through while all of these very normal aspects of emotional experience are happening. Like it's okay and normal to feel all different kinds of ways, in all different kinds of moments. The exact way that you feel and the exact way that the moment is has never happened before in exactly this way, and will never happen again in exactly this way, which can be a scary thought. And it can also be something that invites the awareness of how precious each moment is. Because the way that I can get the most out of my life is by really being here with however it is. Not like, don't change anything practically if something needs to be changed. No, I mean really being here, and also allowing that to guide us into our flow and do what needs to be done. It's like a mixture between the forward movement that we need, as well as this thing that I like to call smell the roses. And sometimes if we feel stressed or overwhelmed or tired, like, what we need is rest. Like for me, why I chose this particular stream today is because I wanted to hang out in a restful energy. Because I have a tendency myself to go off and running in a high energy, so I consciously wanted to relax the energy. Because that is what felt like freedom. There is a freedom in being able to feel exactly how you feel. A lot of suffering comes from trying to change the way we feel before it's ready. And so something useful that I've learned is that it's less so about, where is the rest of the deck? This happens when I'm streaming, the cards just end up everywhere. So it's less so about changing how we feel and more so about becoming better at feeling. Becoming better at feeling. Which paradoxically leads to feeling better and better. And there are ways in which we can support ourselves to feel better, but not from a place of this emotion is not okay. More from it's okay to feel how I feel, and how could I support myself to find relief or to find what would feel just a little bit better in this moment. And just playing with some angel cards. Pranaya, thank you, wise one. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for your engagement and interaction. I appreciate it. Self-acceptance, balance, and retreat. Okay, so yeah, this attitude of like self-acceptance with both sides of how we feel, the negative and the positive, helps them to come to a kind of harmony, because they are both necessary parts of the experience. So let's create a retreat for ourselves to be able to be both sides of the duality and allow them to find a state of balance and harmony. In a way, I feel like that is partially what people come to my energy for, like to be okay with all parts of themselves, and to also experience someone else who is okay with however you are. And also enchantment. That's something that I love to share. Oh, by the way, I read out a story at the beginning of this stream that I wrote with ChatGPT. That is quite an enchanting story, and it's also supportive for loneliness and like magic and the nature of the universe and things like this. So that is available on Patreon and it's free. So if you want to read the story that I wrote, then you can find my Patreon through my link tree on my profile. Ideas and inspiration. Yes, that story once upon a time came from idea and inspiration. I do love creating stuff. How about you? Do you like creating things? Maybe I shall. I wish I had more time for it nowadays. Okay. What do you do with your nowadays? What is life like for you? Oh, beautiful stranger of the internet. I'm a university student. Okay. What are you studying? Aerospace engineering. Okay. Wow. I am not 100% sure what that is, but it sounds quite exciting. So. Power is the card that I pulled. Power. She has like a little trumpet. I sort of see that as like when we express our unique energy into the world, it's like what she's doing, like expressing her unique power through her mouth and through her hands and her energy and the way she interacts with the world. What is power? One definition that I've heard is the ability to create what you want. Another way we can think of power is like authority. So, with the experience of loneliness, I see loneliness as something that feels quite powerless. So, if someone is in a space of loneliness, how can we support them to find their power? Or if we are in a state of loneliness, how can we support ourselves to find our power? For me, it's been allowing myself to feel exactly as I feel as the starting point. Hello and welcome to anyone new who is joining. It seems that we're practicing being here with exactly how the moment is, however we feel, and being in that experience, but together, even if only virtually and energetically, because that feels more powerful than doing it alone. So, I'm gonna pull a card from the Starseed Oracle deck. This is one of the only decks where I read from the book because it's really beautifully written. So what card do this collective of people most need to receive right now to support them in their journey? That's very similar to this Five of Cups lady that we pulled before, who is like alone. But the Five of Cups lady before had her back turned so she couldn't see the door. But this time she can see the door in this card. So the card that I pulled is called Called. And it says soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So I'm just going to trust that this is the card that's supposed to have come out and read what it says. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. You came to Earth with a double mission: to grow as a soul and to bring about a shift in consciousness. The best way to fulfill these personal and collective purposes is to trust what it is that your soul is calling you toward, for it's encoded within the most direct path forward. Your soul has many unique gifts that it came here to share. Some you may already be aware of, others you may just be beginning to uncover. You're being called to remember that your soul intelligently chose the perfect conditions to carry out your soul's mission and share your soul's gifts. If you're being called towards a creative project, a passion, or an adventure, this card is your confirmation that you're facing the right way and that this moment right here is destined. If you're feeling underprepared or thinking, who am I to do that? This card is guiding you to step up and leap, and consider perhaps that your soul has been training for this moment right here for lifetimes. So, Pranaya, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, said in the chat that they wish they had more time for creating nowadays, and then we pulled this card which is like, if you've been wanting to create, this is your sign. So something that I invite is that if there are like things that we want to do but we feel that we don't have time because of other things, I'm just inviting some gentle reflection where it is that if this is my life and I don't have time for the things that I want to do, is that how I want it to stay, or do I want to reorganize it so that I do have time? And could that be possible? So I will just leave that and you can take it or leave it. Place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following: I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received through all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all now without hesitation or fear. I fully commit to being here now, and I'm ready to step into my soul's highest and most potent calling. I've been training for this for lifetimes. That definitely sounds like a song. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I create music. So you can find that on YouTube through my link tree. Like, I have a link tree in my about page. You know, you click on channel. I'm such a Twitch noob. And then you can find my link tree, and it has all the different stuff that I do online if you would like to explore more of my world. And yeah, my name is Lois Ancestral. What is your name? If you want to introduce yourself, I invite it. And if not, that's okay. So we have Luna Sky here, who is my cat. Let's see if she wants to come up here. You wanna come? Yeah. Wanna come? She's on my knee. Oh, you can see her tail. There we go. Yeah. So this is Luna Sky. It's my bestie. Trying to find a way to get comfortable on my knee. My legs are... There we go. She's slotted in somehow. Cool. That's nice. Does anyone have any pets? Or what is your favorite animal? I love animals because, especially cats, especially my cat, because of many reasons, but because of her unconditionality, in that she just always loves me, no matter what, and I just always love her no matter what. And even if, like, say, we have a little play fight, it's like, I still love her no matter how she behaves, and same, and then because of that, like, we just naturally adjust and don't harm each other because she is a part of me and vice versa. Oh, well, for now, in energy, we can be here together with my cat Luna. She's too cozy for me to, like, pick her up, and she's not always the biggest fan of being picked up, so I let her, like, come onto me rather than, like, put her on me most of the time. Have you had her since she was a kitten? Absolutely, since she was, like, 8 weeks old. Yeah. Yeah, so we know each other very well. Like, I understand her and she understands me. We understand each other's boundaries and each other's little quirks and things like this. Yeah, actually, I don't think she's ever sat on my knee in a stream or in a YouTube video before, so I really love that. Love that for me. Love that. Pose. Also, that we have a cat here says something about the energy. If a cat wants to come and be in the energy, must be good, because cats, they go wherever they want, and if something doesn't feel good to them, they're just like, bye, I'm out of here. And so we have cat's approval. This is very true. Yeah. So thank you for your energy, Luna. I'm going to try to show you her. I can move that down, and then you can see her. Yeah. Oh, then she leaves. I tried. Okay, let's put this back up.
Did you play a funny?
There we go. Okay, so thank you for being here with me, with us, for this stream today. I am going to go soon because bed. Because bed. So I hope that you have a relaxed evening and the rest that you need. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing your energy with me and for interacting. I appreciate it. Take care, and perhaps I will see you again. If you want to know when I go live on Twitch next, you can give me a follow. And if you want to find me on any other social media, just visit my link tree. So perhaps I will see you again. Take care and bye for now. Lots of love. Namaste. That was like my YouTube video ending, just coming out. Bye. Good night.